I talked to a guy who does tendon scans with NBA players, and he was breaking down how some of the highest jumpers in the NBA who are completely healthy have the messiest looking tendons. He's like, they got holes in the tendons. Like if you just look at the scan, you would think that it's getting ready to rupture. And then they go play for multiple years, jumping 40 something inches and zero pain. And then you could get somebody with the perfect looking tendon. They look healthy and they can't play basketball because they have so much pain. Mm-hmm. Where are you at on like Keith Barr's idea is you can fix that hole. You could fix the tendon. Jill Cook is like, the hole is not going to be fixed, but you could build healthy layers around that. Where are you at on that?
I'm on both sides.
I like that.
Yeah, and that does give you hope if you have tendon pain, that you're like, you have both mechanisms happening. Like if you have a tendon pain and there's like the island of degeneration, your tendon's going to lay down more collagen on the outside. So I guess your tendon would probably get bigger. It's going to lay down more collagen so that it's strong. But then the hole is also going to be able to heal. And Keith Barr does have his ISOs that says you need to do the ISOs to get the stress relaxation, like the rock in the stream. And then when you do like the analogy of having a rock in a stream and all the stress goes around the rock, around the degeneration. Yeah. And if you do the isometrics, or you could do slow lifting, you get the healthy stuff to relax. So then you can actually get load through the degeneration. And that's what makes the cells realize, oh, I'm getting load in this way, I better lay down collagen that way. Because it's always, the cells are doing everything. You just got to give the cells the right signal. But there was a lot of the research they do is on horses. That's probably most applicable to humans, because they do a lot on mice and rats, but it's not that applicable. Their tendons are pretty different. And they die so fast, mice. So you have to line up whatever. They live for a month or 2 months, and I don't know how long they live. They live very short. You have to line that up with a human who lives for 80 or 100 years. But anyways, horses, they do a lot of research on horses, and they've done scans on horses where there's a huge hole in their, what would be kind of our Achilles tendon, a huge hole in their tendon, and they just do graded exposure of like a little bit of rest, a little bit of walking, and then trotting, gallop, whatever their phrase is getting their to run faster. And after 3 months, the hole completely filled in. And Seth O'Neill on Achilles tendons on Twitter, he had a case study too of a guy with this massive hole in his Achilles, and he scanned it like each month, and I think it was maybe 6 months, completely filled in. But I think some people, they don't fill in. I just don't know. There's not too many cases. But yeah, you do have both happening. If you have a compromised tendon, your body knows better, and it's like, we better lay down more tissue to protect that. It just takes a while. And then you also have that it's probably self-healing. I think you would run into the issue like that horse that had the hole. If you took that horse and rested it, and then like, we're going to go sprint max effort and then rest it, like, you're probably not getting the healing of the hole because you keep re-aggravating the tendon. Yeah. So that's where the pain thing for me, I'm just like, try to monitor the pain daily. And I think if you keep pain stable, you're probably getting this filling in of the tendon. But it does put a wrench in the whole thing, because you look at the best athletes in the world, and you can pretty much guarantee they're going to have really bad looking tendons. Yeah. And they might not have pain, but I think it's just, if you want to reach the highest levels of something, you're going to get some structural disruption.
That's why I'm afraid to go do any type of MRI or anything. I'm like, I feel good, and I don't want a doctor to tell me that I got holes in my stuff, like from 30 years of jumping, because I might come out of that and then start doing corrective exercises and not actually doing anything.
I know. I've thought about doing it on myself. Just go get an ultrasound or MRI. I guess I never looked into it, but I'm like, I would do it as a case study for myself and just see how bad it is, because people obsess. Like, to this day, kids get an MRI or an ultrasound and they obsess over it, and they say, I have a hole and I'm so afraid, and then they want to do a checkup a few months down the line, and it's like, dude, don't even worry about that thing. Just rehab. Yeah. Just rehab, and it could actually get worse, and you'll feel better. Yeah.
Just go based on function and pain levels.
And we don't know when things rupture. Like, there's so many variables that go into a rupture. So if you think that, I have a hole, I have more of a chance of a rupture, we don't even know that. Yeah. Back in the day, a lot of the rupture research, they were saying that people didn't even have pain before they rupture. But I guess that's kind of going back and forth, because there are people who do have pain and then they go to rupture. I think pain and rupture, there's really not a connection, which doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense.
I agree. Yeah. The people that I've seen with the most pain, even if they go push through and play, they don't end up rupturing it.
It's got to be weird. I'm thinking it's got to be protective. That
the pain is protective.
Yeah, because the pain is telling you, like, let's stop.
Yeah.
You do a little bit less.
So I think it is like a check light engine for sure. But then in the cases where you play through it anyways, and you say, forget the pain, you play through it and it still doesn't rupture. That's what's interesting to me, you know?
I think it's probably that calibration thing. Like, you are so well calibrated that your body just offloaded that tendon, and now instead of jumping with a knee dominant patellar tendon stress, you're gonna maybe jump with your hips.
Yeah.
I was telling you, my first time in California, I had bad patellofemoral pain and a little bit of patellar tendon too, and I was trying all kinds of things to fix it. And then I moved back to Minneapolis, and I was living on my buddy's floor for like a month, working at a gym. And we dunked every day, like outdoor courts, played basketball every day, and patellofemoral pain gone, vastus lateralis tightness gone, patellar tendinopathy gone.
Yes.